Ladies and gentlemen, it's Gabriel. You're here with the San Antonio Nerd Coalition. Hey guys, I got a special, awesome interview. Today we're here with Cats from the Cats Pajamas. He's got his awesome YouTube show that's going on. That's where I found him. He's got his art. We're gonna talk all about that today. So we'll see you in a bit. And, we're having fun, all right? Have fun.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
So what do we call you? Cats? You
Yeah,
said?
yeah, Cats, the name is Cats Pajamas.
I noticed when we came on here, like I said, I started watching this show. I'm a fan, and I noticed, there's a lot of people. I noticed the once, well, because I'm going over, but when I first saw it, it really pulled to me. It reminded me of like we are talking earlier, the old heavy metal cartoon, and back from the '80s. And what got you started with kind of, a lot of this? Like you're very unique.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
What got you started, man?
And well, that's a loaded question. First and foremost, I'm an artist first.
Okay.
So I was always into art, because I just didn't like math in school, so I would draw, right? And so that's where a lot of it began, and kind of just spiraled out. The whole cats thing started a few years ago when I was homeless and in New Orleans, and I started a podcast in my car. And that's a short version of how it started. So I'm an artist who wants to support artists.
It's been an evolution. The evolution of going to this tour as a TV show, well, because now you got a YouTube.
Right, right.
So there's production there. Ending that with your art, or how does that? What makes you say, "Hey, I want to start doing a show weekly like that"? Because a podcast, I can see a podcast in a car, but
Right, right.
you're taking it to another level.
That is true. That is true. And actually, Dinks, just a week ago, I realized that I had a YouTube show, even though I had already been doing it. But it finally clicked. Like, okay, I kind of transitioned into this thing and got into this position where it's like, okay, the vision is clear now. This is who I am. This is what I do. Because it really started with me just being an artist, wanting to support other artists. And then it kind of just started a snowball into this thing, and I got a lot of good feedback from the show. I do events, I host a lot of events, do art shows, create and hold exhibits. But the one thing that was really hitting and connecting with people was the show. So that's how I got to, like, okay, this is where I can be an artist, support artists, and also just continue to curate cool events through the channels and meet cool people like you. So a good networking.
Yeah, it really, it's very, very unique. Now, art, we're talking like your unique art stuff that you got here. It's really cool. But I also see you incorporate a lot of music stuff too. So are you a musician too?
Yeah, I was a Oh, well, still am a musician. I played.
We never really die. It really goes
It's
out.
hard to stop playing. Yeah, I was in a punk rock band when I was around 13. And evolved to a ska band, did reggae, did a whole bunch of stuff, did some hip hop stuff for a little while, and most recent I did or do goth post punk music for bands like Dragon Rapid and Haunt Me. So I'm still kind of have my foot in there, a ghost writer, if you will. So I still dabble in that, still do music. So yeah, whole music. Yeah.
Growing up as cats, who is your biggest influence, or maybe a couple, or where you pull from, and then what was that defining moment that kind of, where it was like, okay, yeah, this is art. Art is me. I am art. Kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good question. I would say George Clinton and the Parliament Funkadelics, Bernie Worrell, Bootsy Collins, Eddie Hazel, all dudes from the Parliament Funkadelic. That is heavy, heavy influence because they're all funky and weird, and they are themselves, and they don't fit in any box or anything. When they started, they toured with rock bands, and that was like, well, what the fuck is this type of thing? And then they toured with R&B bands, and it was still like, well, what the fuck is this type of thing? So they're able to go in between all these different worlds and have influenced the world with hip hop, art, and I would say that I can absolutely relate to George and them.
Okay. And what about that moment where it was like art and music? What was that kind of defining moment? Did you just throw in a band in high school or school, or with art, did you start drawing or notice that you liked something? Was it comics, or what was that kind of got you?
It was just really expression, and I did like the reactions I would get from it when I first started, so that was really cool, it was very intriguing. When I was in, middle school, I made a comic, kind of like Inspector Gadget, if you will, it was a rip-off of
And that
Inspector
goes back,
Gadget.
Inspector Gadget. That's for
Yeah,
some of you younger kids might not know what Inspector Gadget, but
yeah,
he's
yeah.
multifaceted guy.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I made a comic like that. However, he wanted to overthrow the government and he was a pothead. And the security guard found my artwork and I had to go see a shrink for a few months, see a therapist because I was a little loony or whatever. So I kind of, that was a big shocker to me. I was like, wow, this silly comic has caused all this craziness. It's
Yeah.
crazy that this silly little paper with something that I drew with a pencil has brought me here in this position, and so that was powerful, and that always stuck with me.
Some of the greats are just that one step from reality, the way people see the world, and it is expressed within it, like even the backgrounds,
Yeah,
your part here is very, it is you. It's very synonymous. One of the coolest characters you see in the show, and all over your artwork is Nana.
yeah,
How did that come on? That character, that yeah, vibe.
yeah, that whole vibe, that started, after watching a gore documentary for some reason, I don't know why, but, we wanted to create this world where everybody can exist in it, all artists, and we can promote other artists. So I didn't have a YouTube show then. It started with the magazine. I was like, well, if I have a magazine, it really started with me trying to sell some artwork. That's where it all really started. I was like, I want to sell art, but nobody's letting me in the galleries. Nobody's interested, and nobody gives a fuck. I was like, well, I give a fuck. So what if I make a magazine and we include every other artist and therefore I can be in the magazine. So I got myself and no one wants to put me in a magazine. I'll make my own magazine and put myself in the magazine. And that's where Narnar was really born. Through that was through wanting to support local artists, the unseen, the unheard, just like myself. And so that's where Narnar begun. And then it's spiraled into something
It evolves, and
beyond
before you know
beyond.
it, it's just
It's
something.
alive.
Yeah, and most, I've heard a lot of, like podcasters. They in a lot of cons. They start off saying, "Hey, I wanted to hit the cons,"
Hmm.
and then it kind of morphs into they're doing something, greater. I noticed you had a really cool a show you had put together. Tell me a little about what entails that, and what even like goes through somebody's mind. Because I've talked to other promoters, and to want to do a show, you got to be a little crazy to want to do something like that. Put a show on.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. It really is. So I wanted to sell art. Nobody cared. Nobody gave a fuck. So I made a magazine so that people would care,
Hmm.
and but still nobody cared or gave a fuck. So I was like, oh, I know what we can do. We need to have an event. We need to have a launch party so that people can give a fuck about this thing. So that's initially what it started. And so my girlfriend, she loves circus stuff, and she helped. She was big influence and helped with all this, and she was like, well, let's have this circus thing, and that gives us an excuse to have different acts, different types of stuff. If it's weird, it'll make sense in this world because nothing really makes sense. And so that's initially where that started, a launch party to get everybody to know about Nardar and to know about the magazine. And we sold no magazine, by the way. Still nobody cared. But it was such a good event, and people that were free and were themselves. It really took off. We had freak shows. We had a lot of my artwork there. Nobody wanted to pay for my artwork, so I held a freak show exhibit and charged $2 for people to go in. So they still ended up paying for my artwork in some type of way. So there's a will, there's a way.
Hey, it's ingenious, but it worked.
It
And,
worked.
you got anything wanting to come up with that or follow up with that? Are you thinking about doing another one?
I actually had last year, I said it was my last one because like the other promoter said, you got to be crazy. It is an extreme amount of work. However, I'm getting pulled left and right. I've been hit up multiple times to try to do another one. I might just do it if I have a team behind me because at the moment, it's really just one person. Everything that you see, all the editing, everything, it all comes down to just to me doing it all,
Yeah.
including the magazines, writing them out, drawing everything.
I bet that can get, it's gonna be overwhelming, especially, regular jobs and responsibilities. And
Right.
so, what about growing up? You from here, or are you from where you at? Where you grow up?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I grew up in El Paso, Texas, and
Okay.
Ciudad Juarez, Mexico.
Okay.
That's where initially where I grew up, and I moved here in 2009, and then was trying to do my own thing, and then so since 2009, I've been trying to establish myself here. We're in 20 now, been doing this for about 2 years, so you can
Wow.
do the math.
Yeah, and you must have liked it, San Antonio.
I hated it.
Well, what do you what do you like about San Antonio? What kind of resonates with you?
Oh, what do I like about San Antonio? There's actually a community here. I
Okay.
think everybody's a little insecure, but I think that's everywhere. I've been to multiple cities and everybody claims to have this single problem of there's no community, there's no this and that. And that's everywhere. There isn't one place that doesn't struggle with competition or some headbutting. But I do see genuine community and genuine heart with everybody in there. There's a couple of knuckleheads, so gatekeepers. That's
Yeah.
again, that's everywhere. See genuine community, just such as yourself, Retro City, Captain Cutter. There's a lot of people who are genuinely trying to build a community and bridge gaps, and so I appreciate that.
Yeah, yeah, I totally understand. Any places you like to frequent around when you're, here in San Antonio, like, food places or like, places you like to hang out?
I love San Antonio street art. That's my
Okay.
place to be. They're off of Chestnut downtown area, and they are the hub. They are the place to be if you're an artist. Yeah, that place is really really great. There's an art gallery. There's classes you can take for free to learn business and to grow as an artist. And that place is always inspiring and a heavy influence on me. So I like to hang out there a lot.
I got you. I noticed one of the things that was unique about you, and I see it nowadays with streaming shows and stuff like that, but they've got a filter on. You have the filter like on literally on you. What made you decide to go with the mask and kind of what was born of that?
Yeah, the answer changes every single time. I was hit by a bus and I'm a huge, hideous beast. But really, it was it was, all right. So the real nitty gritty of the
Hmm.
story is, like I said, I moved here in 2009. I was trying to break it and make it into the art world.
Okay.
And it was challenging. And so I got to a point of frustration and of having a hard time trying to really put it out there. I started to think maybe it's this, maybe it's that, and you
Yeah.
deal with a lot of self doubt. Perhaps it's my face. I have a resting bitch face, if you will, behind this thing. I probably still have it right now. But so I thought maybe it was me, or maybe I just couldn't connect with people. So I wanted to create this larger than life. Heavily, earlier you asked me who were my influences. I mentioned George Clinton, but I forgot to mention Macho Man Randy Savage,
A
the
classic.
GOAT.
Mm.
So it's hard to ignore that personality. It's hard to ignore that person. Anytime I walked in an art gallery, I felt I was very easily dismissed. So I thought, okay, let me bring on this big persona. And if I walk into this room looking the way that I do, good luck trying to ignore me. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. And I'm going to do this. So you will acknowledge my presence. It was that type of thing. So it was I was knocking on the door of the art world. Hey, please let me in, guys. And then I decided I'm just gonna fucking pick the lock or kick the door open, and thus the mask.
That might be shy or kind of timid or something like
Yeah.
that in person. We know that there's something in there. Nerds, a lot of geeks, a lot of people, of those one-offs, a lot of the misfits, the oddities. There's that personality really cool in there, but just getting it out. And I love how you're able to get it out like that.
Yeah, yeah, it's still a challenge, it's still awkward. I mean, walking into this thing, I mean, it's all eyes on you, and, it's definitely it takes something in you to do it, but,
Well,
baby steps, I would say, baby steps.
Well, and I noticed I seen the show and usually you're interviewing people and I'm like, I wanted to see like a lot about this, like who you were, because you're friends with the show with a lot of people. Like you have Elfie in there. Elfie's We're big fans of Elfie. Captain Cutter. He's a friend of the show, very good friend of the show. Joel, there's just so many people that had such good things to speak about you, you
Oh,
know?
great.
And it was kinda cool to kinda face it on this side, and the personality that comes out on the show, is very, 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 like you said, very macho man, very out there, like, you're
Yeah.
going to notice who I am.
Absolutely.
So, are a lot of people do you keep it pretty hidden, the people that in your regular life that, know that you is like Superman, do people see and be like, "Alright, Carl, I know you're Superman," or is it like, are they kinda like, "Dude, I never knew," you know?
Yeah, nobody's seen my face. Captain Cutter hasn't seen my face. Alfie hasn't seen my face. Yeah, no, I
What about the regular people that see the regular you? Like, do they kinda seem to like, that's
no.
you," or are they like,
Have no idea. No, even at my place of work, people I don't walk around with a name tag, so a lot of people don't even know my name in the very building that I work on my everyday life. So, no, I just keep, very private.
mild-mannered man by day,
You wouldn't know.
Superman in the Speedos by night?
Good luck trying to find out. But yeah, I keep everything very private, even in my work life, my private life. The other day I had to leave because I had to take care of my dogs. I told my boss, "Hey man, I got to go I have to take care of my dogs. Something happened, woo woo." And he was like, "You have dogs?" Like he didn't even know. That's nobody knows. It's a
I
mystery.
I think that's one of the hardest things. There's a lot of people doing period. It's just to keeping that separation, keeping the boundaries, and the limitation of saying no, or just keeping that
Mm,
separated. Because
right.
so many people they want more, and with today's on-demand culture, they want to know everything about a person. They want
That's true.
more content, they want more this and that,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's just being able to keep that separation separate.
Does this mask give me superpowers and allow me to do things that I wouldn't normally do as a person? The answer is it's almost no, actually. I am very much so cats even without this thing. It does allow me to perhaps speak out more, or I don't know, maybe not. I think I hold back actually, to be quite honest. I think I am very opinionated, free thinker, if you will. But the mask does allow me to do certain things that I wouldn't normally do, I suppose. I mean, it's like being on stage. I used to be in a band and very shy in a sense. But once you hit the stage, you get you get the bug, and all of a sudden you're doing all types of crazy stuff you wouldn't typically do.
Yeah.
So it is almost as if getting on stage when I, put the mask on.
I kinda get that, and it's, for every artist, especially if somebody is okay, an audience, that kinda thing. I'm sure that's been, different, and be
Yeah.
able to get that, and then does it pull, or does it kinda is it something like I was saying that's in there and it just comes out more? Or is it just, is it always been there, or is it just like you're a different person? Even like with, movie, like actors, they say
Mhm,
that once
mhm.
they get really deep into a character, sometimes it's hard to pull away.
I'll put it this way, everybody has this ability, everybody can put on something. It reminds me of blow. When I was younger, I used to smoke a lot of the, marijuana, as they would say, the reefer, the weed, the ganja. Anyways, I
The
dabbled.
devil's lettuce.
The
Devil's
devil
lettuce.
latte.
And I would always have to when you're doing that, it's obviously illegal and stuff, but I had to remain calm and cool, collected as if I wasn't that. I'd walk in a class and I'd put on this act as if I wasn't that. And in the movie Blow with Johnny Depp, there's a scene where he's discussing how do you walk through an airport with bags with full of cocaine? He likes to think of a memory, a good time, and go through all the details in his mind and replay that over and over. So he's playing a character now so he can be calm, cool, and collected as he goes through this airport with a bunch of drugs that could send him to jail for life. We all put on this mask. We all do something similar to that thing. You can do that right now yourself, maybe not with an actual mask, but if you want to create a new personal reality, then you need to create a new personality. If you're a negative person, you're thinking negative thoughts, negative shit's gonna happen to you. But if you put on this character, if you will, that hey, you know what? All good things happen to me, come to me all the time. And focus on certain things like that. And that's exactly what you're gonna attract, and that's who you're gonna become. Macho Man Randy Savage truly ended up becoming that character. He engulfed himself so deep into that he started to believe it. But it was a character that he just put on, and it just kind of took on a life of its own and became legendary. I think we all have the capability of doing that. It's all in us.
Are you of that kinda thinking that it's something that, it's meant to be, or more of it's what you make to be that thing?
Oh, that's a good question. I believe you can make things. Yeah, I believe you can make your own realities and go through with it. I That's exactly what I did, right? I didn't The reality was that in my mind, as growing up as an artist, when I was trying to make it here in San Antonio, I thought the reality was I suck. Maybe that's why people don't want me in their show. Maybe that's why they don't want me in their magazines. Maybe it's because I suck. And then I had to switch. No, you know what? I don't suck. It's not that. That's not the reality. I do not suck. It's perhaps I need to do this better. I need to look at this. Developing this character without the mask. Little did I know throughout time, it's like I'm just gonna continue to do this and let it fall where it may. But I'm not gonna allow this person or this person to dictate my reality. The reality is I don't suck. I'm actually pretty cool. And it's just a matter of time before everybody realizes that and finds out. And here we are today.
It's feels like it's just the start of the roller coaster. You know,
Yeah.
we're finally starting to go up. We're about to hit that.
And anybody could do it. Anybody listening, you make your own reality. Who are you? No one, only you know who you are.
Mm.
No one can tell you who you are. It's you. So who am I? I'm Cat's Pajamas, a tiger. This is what you see on the outside is a reflection of what's in here. I'm a fucking tiger, man.
What's been your biggest thing to be able to keep that separation for those out there having problems keeping, separation or putting up, those boundaries from letting people do too much?
Yeah, you're right. I struggled with that a while back of should I reveal my face? That I could then you could see more, I'd be more vulnerable. That's how you connect with people. Woo woo, this and that. But I disagree. I think that growing up, 80s, 90s, I didn't know who Paul Rubin was. I mean, it wasn't until recent that we saw his
Mm.
documentary, but I liked that though. Randy Savage is forever Macho Man. I
Mhm.
always thought like this is how he talks, even when he goes to HEB. He's never gonna stop. So I liked that world of not knowing, and I think it's important now with everything coming out. It's tragic. We're with the Epstein files and everything. We're seeing our heroes or people that we like crossing our fingers. Please don't be in these files. I don't want to know personal life. I don't, and I do want to get to know people at a certain level, but I think some things are just sacred.
Yeah.
And like so a lot of people say, don't meet your heroes because they may shatter what you have up here. These like
Yeah.
fake
Yeah.
people. So I think sometimes holding back is actually more
I, I, I
giving more.
I kind of get what you're saying, and even to where that, like, don't make you your heroes. Because for a while, it's like, especially with these clowns, we as a culture and as we want to go meet our heroes. You know, we want to go
Right,
see them get
right, right.
autographs, and like I had wanted to see someone from. I'm a big Fallout fan, the video game.
Yeah.
Now they got a show, and I'm overjoyed. But there was a gentleman that was a voice actor in it, and I got to meet him about 6 months ago, and like just talking to him, it broke my heart because it's
Oh,
like
man.
he could have cared less about, about the he didn't even know. He's like, he was like, hey, the thing you have on, hey, this is in here. You should go. I'm like,
Right,
oh, it's a pit bull. Oh yeah, that's what it's. I'm like, he knew nothing. And I gotta sit back. Okay, I gotta realize it's a job for them and they're doing it.
right,
But
right.
just you're right, just shattering.
It could be hard, Chad.
Man, I was so depressed for like a week. I'm like, boy,
Yeah, yeah.
like I saw you at last con we were at was over at the I think it was Fear Fair with Joel.
Oh, yeah,
And as a culture we go to those as nerds and we go
totally.
get autographs and things and doing stuff like
Yeah.
that. And we notice that they're not who we envision. We want them to be,
Right, right,
but
right.
some people are just assholes. Some people are just assholes.
Right.
But even Paul Room, you're saying I remember watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yeah, when
And
you're
it's
doing this
yes, I'm
cameo.
like, "What?"
Right.
Like, that kinda cool, but to see the range, it's really, really cool,
Yeah.
and like I said, your show's got such passion, you
Oh,
see it come out, maybe, like Spider-Man, just the mask, being able to put that on and donning somebody else,
yeah.
and push it. You said you got a girlfriend, like I said, we also have somebody that stands behind us. Really, really, kinda helps with that and everything. Does she kinda connect with you on this level, or did she meet you on the outside then kinda connect, and how did it all, intertwine? She's pretty supportive?
Yeah, it intertwines definitely in a sense of support. Yeah, that's basically was the only support of like, hey, yeah, you should do this. You can do this. And oh yeah, but an idea generator That's the role that she plays a lot. A lot of her ideas, you'll see come to fruition. Um, so it's a collaborative, supportive system. Yeah.
I got you. Now, the background, like I said, this is we got some B-roll. We're gonna do some more cut in and out as we're doing. But I was telling our tech guy Kevin that dude, this is all like what envision putting this in. Is this all who you are as a person? I see Spawn in here. I see
Yeah.
bands. I see autographs. I see. I would take it probably your art. Some of these pieces are just amazing. Any of them that really, really ring with you that kinda are really sentimental for you?
Hell, sentimental. I'm not
Or
sure
even just
about
unique?
that.
You got a story for us, something cool? How about this alligator? This alligator,
Sure.
it's, it's, very unique.
Yeah, thanks. Let's pull this guy out here. Sure. So the alligator, the mummified alligator. I lived in New Orleans for a couple of months, or maybe almost a year. That's when I was homeless and started this thing. So I had a shitty experience, if you will, a little bit. So I had to take something with me, and that was a fucking alligator because I saw them everywhere. And so thus we got the alligator here. And with the freak show exhibit, I put something together, and this is something that my great 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 grandfather discovered in Egypt.
Dude, see, and that's a story, even that, it's a story, something unique that comes along with it. Dude, there's so much, like, I get
Yeah, there's a
so
lot of stuff. Definitely grew up on Spawn. Love the Monsters.
see Cheech and Chong, you
Cheech and
understand,
Chong's huge, heavy influence by Cheech and Chong. Breaking individuals.
the monsters, look at this. I mean, you just page after page, there's layers, really layers here. It's its own exhibit,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
is really, really cool. Now I see on your show, you got some, you brought on some people, in different segments and everything. Tell people that have never seen the show what they can expect from the show.
You can expect to see underground artists and other individuals such as yourself trying to make it in this thing with regular 9 to 5 jobs. You could see horror, you could see artwork, you can see comedy, you can see cartoons. Basically, this is a upgraded, evolved version of Pee-wee's Playhouse meets Elvira meets Headbangers Ball.
That's what,
Yeah.
yeah, Pee-wee's Playhouse on steroids, pretty much, and a little bit of smoke. Mike, pretty much,
Yeah.
yeah, I like this. That's exactly what it was. This is really, really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, like we said, the show, you said you've been pulled to do it again. Likelihood we're gonna be able to see another one?
There definitely will be another one. I can't give dates or specifics yet, but I'm working on some things. I'm working on a team to help me do it. The last time I did it, controlling sound, controlling the bands, the vendors, the magicians, the models, everything, the venue,
Mhm.
taking care of everybody's needs. In between every set, also hosting. It was such a gnarly experience. I was throwing up in between every band. So that's a little hidden gem for you, for everybody watching. I was there. It may look like I was having a good time, normal, but every time I got off the microphone, I'd find a spot to throw up.
Hey, but you made it through, and
Yeah,
people just saw the mass pushing forward.
everybody had fun. Curating events, creating magazines so other people get the highlight is definitely a challenge for an artist because you want the spotlight. I've done these events. Like I said, the first event I was a launch party. So everybody could, hey, look at me. Look at what Cats did.
Mhm.
Look at what Nana did. I'm going to sell magazines. I'm going to sell merch. Everyone's going to leave this place saying, Nana rules. Cats Pajamas rules. Nobody did. Everybody left saying that was the greatest fucking event ever, not giving a fuck who threw it or what. Now, but what does that mean for me as an artist? How do I deal with that? It definitely made me step back and felt like a kick in the gut and made me think, fuck, I just spent all this time, energy, and money because they costed me. I didn't take money home. I actually left more broke than I was when I did it. Definitely having to put your ego aside and looking outside of everything is how I dealt with all of it because it is a challenge. When people come out of the show, I'm
Mm.
highlighting them, not necessarily me. And when I did try to promote me, there was such this it was felt off. It just seemed wrong for some reason. And I had to put myself second. If I want to truly become whoever whatever it is I am as an artist, I have to put a lot of ego aside. And that's, I think, is the key to everything is being grateful and having gratitude is really how I dealt with everything. I'm grateful everybody showed up and had a good time. I'm grateful that these other artists had the time and day to shine in a place that nobody fucking cared or nobody wanted them. So I dealt it with it because I can personally relate to the bands at that show at the event. I can relate to the people in this magazine, even though I'm dealing with the same thing that they're dealing with also.
Yeah.
They want to be seen and heard. So I dealt with it because it's like I understand exactly how they feel. And I want to build that platform for them. I am second to all of this thing. Nobody knows what I really look like, so I don't really get the fame or the glory or anything. I can walk around in HB, nobody fucking gives a fuck. And that's okay with me because I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful to walk around, to have my legs, to have my arms, to be able to speak to you, to talk to you. I'm grateful for those things. Every night before bed, I think about 3 things I'm grateful for that day. And when I wake up, I start the same way. That is the key to dealing with anything that you're dealing with. For any artist, whatever it is you're trying to do, 3 things you're grateful for will go a long way.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. And with the mask, it's gotta be kinda, I know it's kinda weird now having it, but it's probably once you hit that celebrity to be able to know that you can go walking around without people swarming you, you know?
Yeah.
When the mask comes on, everybody's gonna wanna get with Spider-Man, you know? Like,
Right.
nobody knows about Peter Parker, and
No one knows
that's
about Peter
fine, you know?
Parker.
You
Right.
got your MJ in there, you know?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Which is really cool. And I noticed you've had a couple of different, not co-hosts, but like, people been here to help you out, or even some guests like the devil,
Oh,
crazy
right.
stuff like that. What goes into that where you're like, hey, I want to bring this person on? Even like Elfie, you brought in that, a sit with her. Is it just like, you want to add more characters, or is it like, you're trying something out? How does that go?
So the characters, yeah, I just wanted to try something new, and I see everybody trying to grow and be themselves, and so I see this as a stepping stone, as an opportunity. Let's collaborate, let's have fun. So anybody watching, if you want to collaborate or you have some ideas, I am open for it. So anybody can come and sit on this couch and express themselves. That's just what I'm here to do. I'm here for you
Awesome.
to help the underground, the unheard, the unseen, the misfits, the outcasts.
That is cool. And so, when you're homesick or on a day off, what's a good movie you like to watch? What's your favorite?
I watch Dolomite or I forgot the full title. Dolomite with Eddie Murphy. I watch that maybe about twice a week since it came out.
All right. Any gaming at all? Gaming you like to do, or?
Oh man, I have not gamed in many, many years,
Okay.
and that is because I get so engulfed in gaming. I loved it so much. I spent
Yeah.
like 3 days gaming, and then I had no idea what was going on. I forgot what day it was, and I was like, "Holy shit, what did I just do 3 whole
Yeah.
days?"
Yeah. I definitely got to pull myself away with a little bit sometimes of that, because yeah, it'll engulf some of the good ones.
So it's either I'm cats or I'm a gamer. You guys pick. I
Yeah,
can't do both.
I think we're enjoying the cats,
Right.
and that's coming out a lot better. All right, and then favorite place to eat around here in San Antonio.
Oh man, okay. Favorite place to eat. That's challenging. And I say that because I like a good home cooked meal
Okay,
for the most part. I want to think of Neptune's is good on the south side.
I'll
Fish.
take that.
Neptune's is really great. And they're good prices too.
All right, we'll do some quick fire ones. Top band right now.
Top band right
Perfect.
now.
That you listen to inside your podcast or inside your iPod that's running the most that's on Spotify.
It would be probably Coyote. They're from Los Angeles. They are gangster rap.
All right,
So
TV show you're watching right now.
TV show, I'm gonna refer back to Dolomite because I cannot watch. I love TV shows, but my day and my time will go like that.
All right, newest unique artist you got coming out that you've noticed in San Antonio coming out.
Bo Gonzo, she's been my favorite recently. She does a lot of cool collages and stuff. She was recently featured, and I've been heavy just obsessed with her artwork.
And then one cool one, something that you could tell the local nerds, geeks, the misfits here in San Antonio, or will listening and watching out there right now, a piece of advice you could tell them, and a piece of advice you could tell the young cats, the 10-year-old cats.
Yeah, absolutely. Make your bed. Make your bed. I got that from Jordan Peterson, and that is super heavy. How do you come out of your shell? How do you do these great, wonderful things that all these great, wonderful people you hear about? They make their beds. A simple, minor goal such as that goes a long, long way. Doing baby steps. How do you gain the confidence that you want to have as someone as me, Cats, to go out and do these crazy things? It's by conquering tiny little fears. Doesn't have to be major, but one little step goes a long way, I'd say.
Alright, and then a piece of advice you tell the younger cat.
Don't do it. Don't do it, man. No, I would tell younger cats such as myself, I would say believe in yourself, stick to the truth, because everything else does not matter. Growing up, I've heard lots of things. I wanted to be Richie Valens from La Bamba, but I was told by those around me and even myself that I was Bob. You know, like you ain't gonna be shit. You're not. It's not gonna happen. You're not Richie Valens, man. But no, it's not true. I realized later that as I heard these other people, very much so became Bob in real life. After a while of listening to those people and going down that path of Bob, I thought, what if I just hit the switch and thought of myself like Richie Valens? And then lo and behold, here I am, and the truth prevails. So the truth about yourself, don't believe everything you think. It's just know what the truth is. The truth is you're valuable. You can do it. You are capable. You're not Bob. You're Richie Valens. That's what I'd say.
Bro,
So
I like that. That's a really, really good. Thank you for taking the time to kind of like seriously. Like I said, fan of the show. I pick it up as much as I can when I'm not dealing with my two boys. So I got little ones around. Yes, yes. I definitely a fan taking the time for us to do this and here. All right, guys. It's been I've had a wonderful time talking with Cats. Cats, thank you
yeah,
again.
thank you. Absolutely.
And guys, remember you can catch him on his YouTube. There's a lot of fun. All I can say is keep grounded with him and keep checking out. It's a unique show. He's got a unique personality. It's something you're really gonna love. And remember, guys, if you're watching this, you're part of the coalition. See you later.